Okay, for the bean preparation, I usually brew a 24-gram weight coffee, although sometimes I'll do 20, sometimes I'll do 17, depending on time of day, how much coffee I want. But let's just do a 24-gram today, which is like analogous to a large, I suppose. All right, so I'll use my filter as my tare container. Cool, 24 on the dot. So on my Encore, I use pretty much a dead 20 grind size. And so let's shift this over, put this here. And let's actually leave this open. Let's grind it. Yeah, so it smells amazing. And I just wanted to show the grind size as well. So if we pour this out, spread this out, it's really grainy. Like there's some like little glacial looking chunks in there. Pretty even, but like the grind size is fairly coarse. Back it up a little bit. And so I find that if I brew a finer grind size using the Kalita, it can clog the Kalita, it over extracts because the water's just sitting there kind of clogged up, and it's not the best cup. So yeah, we'll use this grind size. Now I'm gonna brew up some water. Okay, we have water fresh off boil, and for this part, I'm just gonna wet the filter. I've watched a lot of people like quickly wet the filter, but I personally like to like really douse it to try to get rid of all of that paper taste if it does exist. Oh, and it does. So take this, give it a swirl, dump it out in the sink. Then we have our coffee ready to go. However, I just want to quickly show you at this temperature, right off of boil, 212 degrees is boil. So I got this thermometer. And so the slurry should really be 195 to 205 degrees. So the idea is like, let's keep this off boil until right before then. So right now, still 210.7, right? 211. It holds its temperature forever. But when you pour this coffee, it loses it really quick. So there's really no need to wait. You can really pour right away, right off boil, or you can wait 3 minutes, 4 minutes. It doesn't make much of a difference because water holds its temperature so well. What is that, thermal conductivity? No, I don't know. But when you do pour it, it loses that temperature very quickly. So it's kind of just holding steady, there's no rush. So let's bring this back. We're properly wet. It's also super important to have that warm carafe too, because if that water's coming down quickly, it's going to drop in another couple degrees unless that carafe is pre-warmed. I'm gonna push this back so you can see So now that we have our grinds in there, I like to just even it out and tear it up. So for the bloom process, I like to do right between like a 2.5 to 3x water to bean ratio. So in this case, 24, 3x would be what, 72? I like to do right around 60 grams. Very gentle with how I pour the water and do concentric circles from the inside out. So I got distracted and went all the way up to 78. So I did like pretty much the full 3x, which is totally fine. But as a result, I have a pretty good amount of water drip, or coffee drip, I guess, down at the bottom of the carafe. That's not ideal, but whatevs. I don't time it out. I usually just kind of whatever feels like 30 seconds. But I've also noticed that if you put your ear to the coffee, you can really hear when it's finished. It slows down the snap, crackle, pop. So for me, the next step, the actual second pour, is very, very slow. And I found that if I have a constantly slow pour rate using a continuous pouring method, I have the best results. And one really great way to look at it is if you're pouring too quickly, that water is going to, or that slurry is going to come very close to the top of the filter. There should really always be, for a Kalita single 24 gram pour, there should always be like almost an inch of white filter being unused. All right, we're pretty much all drained. Let's get rid of our scale, dump out our grinds, and then give it a smell. It smells really nice. All right, so let's turn this around for some cupping notes. It smells really good, like better than I remember it smelling. Let's give it a taste. Now, also, like this coffee, it's pretty damn hot right now, and you can't taste it at all at this temperature. Some coffees, I feel like you can get a much better flavor profile at a hotter temperature, but this one you really need to wait until it's like, I don't know, probably 25 degrees cooler than this. So let's try it anyway. You know, this is way more acidic than the last cup I've brewed of this, and it tastes really nice. And it's really light on the mouth. It's not like dark and syrupy like a lot of Brazilians are. It's like light and refreshing. Lovely. Hope this helps.